Say peace and blessings to everyone. I know you guys see the title of this brief live that I'm going to do here, and just seeing how different groups are making up words. You know, my thought that I just want to just share is anything but the Negroes. And some of you guys are familiar with some of my teachings. That I did a couple of lessons, anything but the Negroes. And if you haven't seen the video, I encourage you to look at the last video I uploaded about the Kevin Hart situation, about Kevin Hart being accused at. Oh, somebody said I spelled it wrong. All right, I'll correct the title. You guys know how spell check is and everything. So appreciate it, brother Emmanuel. Thank you for the catch, and I'll update it once we conclude. But yeah, the whole Kevin Hart situation. The Arab Egyptians want to cancel him because of him referring to the ancient kings of Egypt as being black, right? They're accusing him of being Afrocentric, right? And that's supposed to be a bad thing, of teaching and making it clear how the Europeans and the colonizers, how they've been rewriting or selectively writing history in their favor, and to give the impression that like some of these major dynasties and the things that people of color have accomplished, that we really didn't do anything, right? That they've done it, they have done everything. And so when I look at the Arab people, and as you see the topic here, Anti-Kemeticism, and I kind of made that up just playing around with the play on words, because you have Anti-Semitism, which the ADL, the Jewish community as we know them, they came up with that, they coined that term, Anti-Semitism, for anyone that, and that kind of opposed their community, so to speak. And when you understand the legal definition of it, of anti-Semitism, is very bland, is very generic. It's anything could be anti-Semitic in terms of if you comment about, let's just say, any type of conspiracies, anti-Semitic. If you question or not necessarily, well, yeah, just question the numbers of the Holocaust, anti-Semitic. If you present information that may counter what anything that they have done legal, rightful, good information, I mean, how can I put it, vetted information, anti-Semitic. If you use their own sources, their own sources that may say that, X, Y, and Z. It's all right for their sources if it's their sources, and and you quote their sources, you anti-Semitic, but their sources, right? They'll just rule that the person just, was unstable, had mental issues, so to speak. And so they came up with that term. And I encourage you guys to go back and look at some of the previous videos dealing with Hebrews to Negroes, fact check, and then I break down the word anti-Semitic, because we go to the academic perspective. We know that the word Semite or Semitic is a subgroup of Afro-Asiatic. So we know that I'm Shemitic, you Shemitic, right? We are Shemitics. Those that was on those slave ships and sons and daughters of slaves. We know we're Shemitic people, and we know that and I'm just going to say Israel. The Israelites did not have a monopoly on the term Shemitic, on being Shemitic. All of Shem's descendants are Shemitic people, right? That just means that his descendants are what? Descendants of his, out of his loins. So they coined that, right? So basically, if we say that we are the people of the book, anti-Semitic, even with Kanye West's statement, he didn't even say that the Jewish community as we know them, they're not the people. He just said that we are. He used the term Jews. We are Jews. Blacks are Jews. Blacks in America are Jews. Anti-Semitic, right? That's the key. So now we have that out in the atmosphere. Kyrie Irving did all of this apologizing for because had to apologize to get back into playing basketball, all for making a post that was deemed anti-Semitic, right? But not wanting to dwell on that. But then when we get to Kevin Hart and we see the Arabs, right? It's interesting, right? Arabs, right? Arabs are wanting to cancel or canceling Kevin Hart for being, they put anti-Egyptian or whatever the case may be, whatever phrase that they use. But I came up with the term thinking that more appropriately anti-Kemetic or anti-Kemeticism, right? Because that's what they're saying. They're trying to say that the Arabic people are the original people of the Egyptians. Now, just that term, Arabic Egyptians, Arab Egyptians, that's a red flag that in itself, right? When you go to that short Kevin Hart video I did, I share sources, but you guys already know. There's plenty of sources like Herodotus, as he could describe the ancient Egyptians. It's others as well. But when you look at that video and I share sources, they make it clear that the Arabs that we see, the modern Arabs that we see inside Egypt, right? They are Turks. They are Turkish people. They're Turks, right? So what you see today in in Egypt, what you see today in the Middle East, that primary group of people that you see, they are Turkish people. Doesn't that sound familiar? When we're dealing with the Khazarians, when we start dealing with them, when you start going into what Aaron Elhake, the Jewish geneticist from Johns Hopkins, he described the Ashkenazis as being descendants from a Turkish people. So we have a Turkish people stating that they are Hamitic, but then we have a Turkish people that says that they are Shemitic, right? Because the Arabs, right, from the Muslim perspective, the Islamic perspective, they claim to be Shemitic. They claim to be a descendant of Abraham by way of Ishmael. So many are saying, hey, you know what? The Arabs are Hebrew. They are Shemitic. They are Abraham's, from Abraham's older son, Ishmael. But then at the same time, wait a minute, they're saying that the Egyptians, that they are the ancient Egyptians. So they get the best of both worlds of saying that they are Hamitic and some Shemitic people. Just like, or just like with the, the community, the Jewish community as we know them today, they get to have the best of both worlds. They get to claim legally that they are Caucasians. But then also they get to claim that they are Afro-Asiatic. Come on, family. Come on, family. Come on, family. Anything but the Negroes. Anything but the Negroes. Right? What are they going to come up with next? What are they going to come up next with trying to cancel us out? What's going to be the next thing, family? So they're the ones, when I say they, the Catholic Church, Christianity, Judaism, came up, and Arabs, right, came up with this this craziness of stating that all the Negroes, all black people, right, especially dealing with our people that was on those slave ships, saying that we were cursed with our skin, that we are descendants of Ham. Notice I said Ham, not Ham. Ham, right? Ham with a ka, right? Kemetic actually is Kamatic, right? Or Kama, I'm not getting into all of that. But here it is, right? They came up with the curse, stating that we are dark because Ham being cursed. Ham being cursed. Noah's son being cursed. They came up with that stuff. So one minute they're saying that we are Hamitic people and cursed with dark skin, and the Egyptians are descendants of who? Ham. You got Ham and you got Ka for Ka Mitic or Ka Matic. Still falls right under Ka, from Kam to Ka Matic. You still see Kam's name even over the Egyptians. And I can confirm that in ancient Hebrew, that word Ka Mat is in the scriptures. So Ka Mitic, or Kam rather, Noah's son, right? That means everyone that's a descendant of him is going to be what? Kamitic. Just like all the descendants of Shem is going to be what? Shamitic, or some would say Shemitic, get into the vowels. So come on, family. Come on, family. We get everything stolen from us, even our bad habits. Come on, family. Come on, family. Brothers and sisters, brothers walking around with saggy pants. They took that from us. Things that we created in this country, for us dancing, break dance, all kinds of stuff. They took it and ran with it, right? So when we start understanding these things, family, this is where we have to understand. We got to start teaching our own. You got to start teaching them, family, at home. We can't be dependent on somebody else trying to tell us who we are. Look at that playbook. Look at every time someone else told us who we are, where did we end up at? So now we have Arabic people, right, which is a fact. It's historically proven. It's documented in some of the old sources, making it clear that the current Egyptians that we see today on camera, they're not original to that area. It's a fact. It is a fact. I encourage you guys to read a book called Black Genesis. It's a great book. Look it up, Black Genesis, and it exposes a lot within that book. That's when I really started understanding the brother man named Diop, right, who came up with a way of testing to proving that the ancient Egyptians were dark melanated people. Dark melanated people, right? That he came up with the test that many of the other communities were trying to downplay and try to keep from using, and trying to prevent it from being a tool of being used, or try to question the accuracy of it. But it's been proven to be accurate. He came up with a test to test and the melanin, and I can't go into all the details of it. That's not my area, but he tested that. Came up with the test. Brother man came up with the test. So again, I encourage you guys, look up the book Black Genesis. It's a great book, and it really exposes the entire game. And guess what? Guess who's involved in that too? Right? Some of the people that came up with coined the term anti-Semitic. You'll see how he mentions them right inside that book about, whitewashing the things in Egypt. Come on, family. They're whitewashing it. We already know that. We already know that. So what else are they going to whitewash? Soon we're going to have Ethiopians, do the same thing. What other communities that's going to say try to separate themselves from us? But that's not the original Egyptians that are doing that, right? That is what we see today. That is the Arabs, right? So now these Arabs want to appropriate to themselves, right, being Hamitic people. Come on, family. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that you are a descendant of Ishmael, and then at the same time you are a Hamitic people. Which is which? So family, that's why I want to do a quick live today. It's been a while since I did a live inside my car. Turning my car off because I got to go back in here. But I just thought I'd share with you guys my thoughts for today. Go back over and watch the video, the short clip that I did on Kevin Hart, and share that video, discuss it. I'm curious of what the conscious community have to say about that, because the conscious community, those guys have been riding the the Hebrews, right? The Hebrew Israelites. Oh, anti-Semitic. Oh, you not this or you not that. Okay, conscious community. Let's see how you address this Kevin Hart issue. Let's see if you can address this thing that's going on in Egypt right now. Just like how you guys asked for our DNA, let's see your DNA. Let's use that same playbook against you guys. Show me, prove to me your connection to the ancient Egyptians. Now that the uh, modern Arabs are saying that the original Egyptians look like Arabs, let's see how you guys respond to it. Let's see how you guys, according to their understanding and standards, you guys are anti-Kemetic, practicing anti-Kemeticism. Let's see how you guys respond to it. Let's see what you guys have to say about it. Because I could say there's not a single Kemetic name on those slave ships. There's no hieroglyphs on those slave ships. I can tell you that there were some Hebrews on those slave ships just by the names. I can tell you that there were some Hebrew writings that they wrote coming right off those ships. I can tell you that there's some places over in that area that is documented that they had Hebrew copies of writings of the Torah. There's some places like in the slave pits that have some Shemitic writings there. But again, can you tell me, if you see, any of those hieroglyphs? Can you tell me if you see those in those slave pits? Can you tell me if there's anyone on those slave ships that was going by any Kemetic names? So now you got to deal with the same. Let's see how you handle those questions, right? Because again, it's interesting. Family's getting interesting. It's getting very interesting now, because what else is going to come up? What else is going to come up? What else? Because there's a lot of brothers and sisters, even in church, that say that they are Hamitic people. They say, hey, I'm a descendant of Ham. Okay. Well, according to the Arab community in Egypt, they're saying that you're not. So if you're saying you're Ham, by way of who? What tribe? What tribe are you connected to that connects to Ham? Right? Because guess what? Again, they're trying to take Egypt off the table. And of course, when they're saying that we're not Hebrews, they taking Ethiopians off the table. But they took the Egyptians off the table. What say you? How do you respond? Are you going to respond just like many of the Christians? Or, and I'm referring to the conscious community. Oh, well, identity doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter. Are you going to respond that way? And those that are inside the church, and I'm not trying to bash you, how are you going to respond? What do you have to say? Or are you just going to say it doesn't matter? Christ died for everyone. Are you going to take that approach? When that's not the case, if you really study the words of the Messiah? How are you going to, I just want to see how these people are going to respond to it. I want to see how these people that said that they Hamitic, saying that they descendants of Ham, you're entitled to your belief. But how are you going to respond to this? That the Egyptians are saying that, hey, black people, the Egyptians wasn't black, they were Arab. See, that's the key, family. When they say olive now, oh, they were olive. The people in Israel were an olive color. What they're telling you is that they're trying to tell you that the original appearance of those in that area looks like the Arabs, the Turkish people. Come on, family, y'all, you got to do your due diligence. That's what they're saying. When they say, oh, the Israelites, they were brown. They wasn't black people. They're trying to tell you that they were like a Turkish people. Right? But we come in all shades. Blue, black, all the way to light. Right? Blue, black, all the way up. So again, family, just thought I'd take a moment of my time, talk with you guys, and got some things that we getting ready to drop. Really appreciate the love and support. YouTube has been having me on lockdown, but guess what? We're gonna keep this truth moving forward. So with that being said, family, love you. Got a couple of things coming out. Going to drop some more videos. Got some more teaching I'm gonna do tonight. But be on the lookout. Road to Savannah will drop this weekend. That is a promise. Road to Savannah will drop this weekend. Love you, family. Shalawam.